welcome to the video. How do people start these videos? I have no idea. I have a sketchbook here. I just finished it, like, literally today. And I wanted to record it just because I like watching sketchbook tour videos, and I was like, well, I have a finished sketchbook. What's stopping me from doing that too? So that's what we're gonna do today. So this is a sketchbook that I made myself. I bound it with Strathmore drawing paper, and then I think like crescent render paper, like the marker paper. I don't know, it's the kind of marker paper that you don't, like, it doesn't bleed through to the other side. And I did make it in a square. I haven't worked in a square sketchbook before, so I wanted to try it. I do have plans to make my next sketchbook as well. I might record that if anybody's like interested to see what it's like to bind a sketchbook by hand. Yeah, this is my sketchbook, and the first page. Ooh, it's bumping into the microphone. Yeah, kind of chaos going on the first page. Just a collection of stickers that I acquired over the last few years, honestly. So I made this sketchbook in, kind of over Christmas, in 2023, because I wanted like a fresh sketchbook start for the new year. So I thought it was just going to be a 2024 sketchbook, but now here we are, 9 months into 2025, and I finally finished it. So like, clearly I don't finish sketchbooks very quickly. So yeah, this is the first page. I pretty much predominantly work in colored pencils. They are my favorite things to sketch in, which is why I decided to use drawing paper for this, even though by the end of it I did pretty severely regret that decision. But for just colored pencil drawings, it works great. Which is nice, and I like working in colored pencils just because I feel like it doesn't smudge as much as graphite does, and they're more colorful, so it's more cool to look at, I guess. I don't know. But besides that, I also have some markers and ink here. The markers are Tombow markers, which are water-based, so they don't bleed through, and then the ink pens are also water-based, so I think it was either a sign, like a Pentel sign brush pen, or a Fudenosuke pen. Whichever one. They both kind of work similar. But yeah, same thing here. So it's all like the Tombows and the brush pen over it. Over here, I think I had just read Slewfoot, the book Slewfoot, and it was okay. It was alright. But then I wanted to draw some like goat characters kind of from that, and I rarely draw like monster characters. I did not draw any other monsters for the remainder of the sketchbook, so clearly I forgot how much I enjoyed it. But anyways, more random stuff. Honestly, I kind of forgot. I was going through like a style crisis at the beginning of 2024 pretty severely, because I used to draw very, like, value-based, like, a lot of shadows, and that was what I used to build figures and, like, build, portraits and stuff. But as I was, like, working in the sketchbook, I really wanted to switch it up and be more line-based so that I had more room to be, like, more expressive, I think. I just wanted a more, like, stylized look than the more realism that I was doing before. So I was kind of fighting with myself to try and figure out if I could be able to do that, and I don't think you can see how much I was struggling on this page with that, but I remember I think I definitely was. And then, yeah, so then I start scribbling with ballpoint pen, and I think if you ever see me pick up a ballpoint pen, I think you know I'm going through a crisis. So yeah, I was like feeling very upset and frustrated with my art style, and I scribbled it with ballpoint pens, and then went to my comfort zone, kind of confident area, which was doing figure drawing. So yeah, and then more random stuff. This was acrylic paint, but it was with a mixed like a drawing medium that you could use to like roll the paint on, and then it gives it a texture that like the colored pencil can adhere to, because it like gives the paint a little bit more tooth. I don't know, I don't feel like explaining it, honestly. Let's just move on. To over here, we have more stuff. I think occasionally, I'll get in the mood to, like, ink things, but then, I don't know. It happens rarely, but sometimes it does happen. So, these were inked, I think, with the Fudenosuke pen again, and then you can see colored pencil under it. I also did have some ink wash. Actually, I'm going to show you guys this. I feel like a genius because of this. I put ink wash in one of those Pentel Aqua Brush pens, so now I have portable ink wash wherever I go. Do I use this ever? No, but I feel very smart for thinking about putting ink wash in there, so perhaps copy my idea. I probably was not the only person to do that. I guess I still was in an inking mood on this page too, because I was drawing birds, and yeah, anyways. Okay, so these are Crayola drawings, with like just Crayola markers. I do like to draw with more cheap mediums, that I can like feel better about just using and kind of scribbling all over the page and not really like worrying about wasting the material, because like I do own more expensive materials, but I never use them because I'm so scared of wasting them. And then, oh boy. Just some other like random stuff. My poor Monkey Man ticket is like disappearing. Poor guy. That was a good movie. And then over here, I don't know if you guys can tell what's about to happen to the sketchbook, but in the year 2024, something took over me. I got really into something, and I have not stopped since, and there is no sign of stopping with this obsession, and that is, I got into K-pop for the first time in my life in the year of 2024. I know, I'm late to the party, I know, but, you know, listen, I first got into Stray Kids, and of course, they got me, and I can't get away from them now. So we start with the Stray Kids Skazoo characters. These are their little mascot characters. Each of the members has their own little character, so I ended up doing a drawing set of them. And I did turn these into stickers. I actually have one of them. One of the finished Puppy M stickers. Look at that. So cute. Kind of inspired by how I saw people kind of treating their Skazoo plushies on like Pinterest and Twitter and stuff. So yeah, that was my Cooking with Skazoo series, and the madness has begun, truly. And when I say the rest of the sketchbook is going to be K-pop stuff, I am so sorry. Because it is going to be most of what you're about to see. But besides that, here's some stuff that's not K-pop so far. So you have this like little clown guy in the rain. Sorry, my Tamagotchi just went off. Anyways, so some stuff. I did some portrait practice as well, and this was still me trying to continue to move away from like value and be focused more on lines when it comes to building portraits. And I was fighting myself, because you can see I was laying in some of like the planes of the face with the value structure of it, and I was trying to limit myself, but it was so hard. But I wanted to do some portrait studies. I think this page turned out pretty good as well. But the reason I was practicing portraits, you'll never guess, it's so that I can draw K-pop boys. And here's the thing about this page. I did not feel confident at all in drawing portraits that look like somebody specific. Like, I really love drawing portraits. Like, I love doing this stuff. But if you ask me to draw a portrait that's, like, meant to look like somebody, that's when I am not confident at all. I feel like I'm so bad at capturing likenesses and making a drawing look like somebody specific. So I struggled a lot with this spread. And I don't know if you can see it, but I was fighting the demons I was fighting in my brain to, like, achieve just any of this was crazy, to just draw this one. And I don't even think this looks good, by the way. This was supposed to be Ian and then Han from Stray Kids. I don't even think this one looks good, first of all. I don't think it doesn't look like him, I don't think. And then I tried it again, and I'm like, okay, that one looks way better. That one actually looks like him. And then I tried to draw Han. I didn't even like this one enough to finish it, clearly. And then this one, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good, you know? So, you know, I went on this journey with the sketchbook of, like, gaining more confidence in doing portrait work. So, yay for that. But then we get to, oh my god, what? ATEEZ. What? Yeah, so after getting into Stray Kids, I really quickly got into ATEEZ. Very, very common thing to happen. And so I started drawing the ATEEZ characters, which are the ATEEZ mascot characters. And I started doing it. I only drew 6 of the 8 members here, so sorry to the 2 that I left out. But what I did do, actually, I'm very excited about this. Let me grab it. I made these into wooden standees. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god. This thing sits on my bookshelf. Very cute. Look at him. I laser cut this. Isn't this cool? Yeah. Anyways. So I made them into little wooden standees to decorate my shelves. But yeah, so that's the beginning of that. And then we hit, what's next? Oh, okay. So some original art instead of K-pop stuff. Don't get used to it. I was just drawing some more doodle stuff. I actually did scan this piece in and then start coloring it digitally, but I never finished it, and I was working on it for like months on and off, and I just could not finish it because the rendering was taking so long, and I was like, I'm really not enjoying this, actually. It kind of made me sort of begin to work digitally in a different way, and I approach doing digital art like way different now, I think, because of this. But anyways, after that, more Stray Kids stuff. Wow. This is when 8 came out, the album, and if you were wondering who my favorite member of Stray Kids is, because I know you all are dying to know, it is Changbin, right here. But yeah, so I watched the 8 music video. It was kind of fun because it had Deadpool and Wolverine in it, and I used to be super, super into comic books when I was in college. So I used to draw like little cartoon versions of the characters and like make stickers and stuff. So after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine and their music video, I was like, well, when worlds collide, what is this? My two big life obsessions are coming together. What is this? So it was fun to kind of approach that kind of art style and character design again. But yeah, so, okay. And then there's my actual Deadpool ticket and some other stuff that I just was scribbling. I did turn these into sticker designs, but I never like actually printed them. They're not up on my store or anything because I didn't know if anybody would like care that much about them, but I did make a little scarecrow dude and then a little vampire kid who's eating strawberry ice cream with like strawberry jam on it, and he doesn't like the cherry, so he's like upset by the cherry. And then I was gonna draw a creature from the Black Lagoon eating a bag of Swedish fish, but I never ended up doing that. I might come back to that idea. Maybe. We'll see. But it was Halloween. So here's some Halloween stuff, I guess. Like a cat, skeleton riding a skateboard. That's a sticker, though. And I did do this Halloween piece. I did do this digitally as well, but I never posted it. I also drew this little dude. This is actually, I'll grab it. This is my bat that I made, knitted. Look how cute he is. He like hangs like that. So nice. So yeah, if you're wondering what that thing is, it's this guy. And then we have a Jongbear sticker over here. And you'll never guess who my favorite member of ATEEZ is. Guess who? Oh my god, Jungho. What? Wow. Yeah, so this is all Jungho from ATEEZ. He is my favorite member of ATEEZ, my favorite K-pop idol ever. I love this man. And yeah, it was his birthday. Anyways, also spot the Hello 82 exclusive stickers. I did go to the pop-up for Golden Hour Part 2, and I did get my Jungho signed album. So yeah, I am successful. Anyways, this is what I spend my adult money on. And then we have figure drawings, yes. So I actually went to a figure drawing, like a live figure drawing session, which I hadn't done in a while, so I was super excited to get back into it. But I kind of underestimated how off my game I would be since it had been quite some time since I did like live figure drawing. So these first ones are definitely pretty rough. And I started drawing this one and I was like, oh no. Oh no. And these are of course like the 2-minute ones. But I feel like as the night went on, I definitely got more solid with it. I mean, this last 2-minute sketch I think is way more final and complete than the other ones. But we have 2 5-minute drawings and then a 10-minute. And I mean, obviously as you get more time to draw the figure, it'll like come out nicer because you have more time to work on it. But I also think like foundationally, the beginning structures of it also got better as I kept practicing throughout the night, so that was nice. But we have 2 more, oh wait, no, so 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute. Yes. Okay. And then, oh yeah, okay, 1 more 20-minute, and then that was the figure drawing session, so really nice. And I want to go back, but like the figure drawing session that I went to was hosted at this venue that is like an hour away from my house, so I can't really make it every week or every month, but I would like to go back to try it again. And then just more random sketches. Here's a Tombow sketch as well, so those Tombow markers I was talking about. And then, oh wow, more Stray Kids. Wow, here we go. So actually, this is very exciting. I got tickets to the Dominate tour, which was their tour in 2024. And I, at that point, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make freebies. I've never been to a K-pop concert before, but I know that freebies are a thing. I'm gonna make freebies to give out to other fans at the concert, and I was so excited. So at this point, they had given me like 6 months to prepare for this, because I bought the tickets like in, December, or whenever they went on sale. So I was like, I have plenty of time, so let's do it. So this was a nice like kind of long-term project that I was working on through the beginning of 2025. So I drew IN first, and then Felix and Seungmin, just to kind of like get a little bit more practice of drawing them before I did the final drawing pieces that were going to be for the freebies. And honestly, I feel like while I still might not be that good at getting likenesses, like making the drawings look like them, at this point in my like portrait journey, I also think I just don't care anymore. Like, not in a bad way, but like, I feel more confident, not in the way that I feel like my skill has gotten better, but more in the way of like, if I mess up, I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to like finish the drawing, and if it looks like him, then great. If it doesn't, then oh well, let's move on to the next one and hope that the next one looks better, kind of like that. Also, this one of Felix, I did also finish digitally, because I wanted to do a finished digital piece to practice what it would be like to do the actual freebie portraits. So here's more Stray Kids. I did these little like sets of the Skazoos. I made stickers of them, each wearing different sunglasses. And I gave a sticker away in the freebie pack. So the freebie pack was basically like a mini print, and then an illustrated photo card, and then a sticker. So that was the pack. So this was one of the actual finished stickers. Here's the Dweki one, Changbin's character. So yeah, anyways, we have Chan over here in his little like Wolf Chan sweater thing, and then Mingi on this page from ATEEZ, and some more little Jong bears, of course. And then we have Superman. Guys, the Superman movie came out. Oh my god. I drew this when the teaser came out, so like the end of December. And I was so hyped for this movie. I love Superman so much. Like, I have never stopped loving Superman, even though I'm not like as into comics anymore. So I ended up drawing this after the teaser came out. Not that this is based on the movie. It's just Superman. But yeah, guys, I freaking love Superman. God, anyways, we have some other animal drawings. I was doing some more stuff with the Tombow markers, and I quickly realized after trying to draw these like flowers that Tombow markers are not good for rendering, like at all, at least to me. So I just ended up continuing to use them as just sketch markers, but yeah, rendering was a no-go. So I ended up just sketching with the color and then going in with a black pen to do the lines. And then for this one, I sketched with the lighter color of the Tombow and then did a darker Tombow color for the lines, stuff like that. So yeah, I do like Tombows, but I do feel like they have their limits for the use of them. And then I think I was like, oh yeah, what if I get back into comic books now that I liked Superman? And then that didn't really pan out that much. But I did draw Damon Hellstrom, Son of Satan from Marvel, which I do like that character, and I also like Ghost Rider. This was Ghost Rider over there. And yeah, I was like, oh, let me draw comic book characters, and then I stopped. And then I glued in this picture of, I think this is a Jesse Wilcox Smith painting. We have Yosong over here from ATEEZ again. I love Yosong. I did make this little guy a sticker as well, the "I'm not cute" quote. So that is also available. And then over here is when I started to realize a bit of a problem with the sketchbook for me. And the problem was that this is drawing paper. You know, drawing paper meant for dry mediums. They really meant it when they said this was drawing paper, because oh my god, can this sketchbook not take any water, any moisture in any capacity, okay? Like, it'll do the water-based markers fine, but adding any like actual water or paint to this, you've gone too far. Not possible. It was terrible. Because I used to do this thing where I would sketch something with Crayola markers and then use like a paintbrush and water. And when you add water to it, it'll kind of like dissolve the markers and you'll be able to spread it around like watercolor, which is pretty fun. So I tried to do that, Mistake. That was a mistake. The page was buckling pretty severely. It was just like not interacting with it whatsoever. I tried to do this bird, which was actually like Crayola marker and white acrylic paint, which in a similar way to just adding water, it will also like blend with the marker and like activate it, and you can kind of make some nice midtones with that and do a little painting. It was not having it. So after that, I just drew this flower with the Tombow markers, called it a day. But, yeah, not great. not great. So yeah, anyways, next we have Nosferatu, really interesting mix of fandoms we have in the sketchbook, isn't it? And so I ended up drawing this. I actually did a series of, like, horror monster cartoon drawings back in college, and it was nice to kind of come back to that a little bit and sort of incorporate that style again. Over here, we have some clowns. More clowns. I love clowns a lot. We have some clown cat over here. I also turned that into a sticker, so here's the finished sticker of that. And then a clown ice cream. Yeah, I think I actually, do I have the sticker for that in the front? Yeah, so that's how that one turned out. Very cute. And, yeah. Stickers. Great. So over here we got Extraordinary Heroes, another group that I got into, but this time they're a band, so not a K-pop group. They're a little different. Some of the members, Junhan over there, and then Gaon with his the chicken selfie, very great, and then Joohyun looking like that. And then I tried to draw Ode. I don't think this looks like Ode at all. But I wanted to draw his hairstyling from like the haircut song promotions, and then Junhan again. Yeah. So that was my little Extraordinary Heroes spread, and then some more sticker designs, and I am happy to report, I'm happy to say, all of the drawings on this spread were officially turned into stickers. So we have our book dragon, my book dragon over here, and then plant dragon, and then I also have a yarn dragon that's going to be coming up. So I did a series of 3 hobby dragons. And honestly, I've been drawing so many dragons now. I don't know why. I was not like a dragon kid when I was younger, you know? But like people had those like dragon encyclopedias and stuff. That was not me. I don't know. I've never like drawn dragons more in my life than I have right now, and I've never been interested in them before, so I don't know what's going on. But we have some dragons. I also did a cowboy cat to match the clown cat, so the cowboy cat's over here. And then some ghosts. So we have some like book reading related ghosts. So this one says late night book club, and then this one, it's behind like a haunted bookcase. Ooh. And then these are the 2 stickers from those previous drawings, so like the scarecrow kid and the vampire kid. So again, I did make them into stickers, but like I haven't printed them more than just this. Oh yeah, also Mingy's over here. Loser Mingy. Also available as a sticker. Anyway, anywho, I forgot I drew that. Anyways, here's some airport, ATEEZ airport fashion. And yeah, and then we have some more marker sketches. Sometimes, again, I get in the mood to ink things very rarely, but when I do, I don't feel like sketching anything. I'm like, I just want ink. I just want to, like, line something. I don't want to sketch anything, just lining. So when I feel like that, I just scribble with the marker. Like, this is just Crayola marker, and then I just ink over it without doing any more sketching. So yeah, pretty loose stuff. Yeah. Okay, so now we're in the freebie project that I mentioned before, so we're finally starting that. I decided to draw each member based on their solo music videos that had, at the time, they had just come out, but then by the time I finished the project and it was time for the American leg of the tour to start, they stopped doing their solos during the concert, and they were doing the unit songs instead. So I was like, well, fool I am then, like this. Oops. But yeah, so it was based on their solo music videos. So we're starting off with Lino over here, and then also there's the Hyunjin Jinneret sticker from that very first Skizoo drawing. But anyways, here's Lino and Hyunjin. I started with theirs. Also, I think Lino's was my favorite solo song from that album, just to say. His song is so good. Anyways, we have more figure drawings. So I went back to the figure drawing session a few months later, and I guess I picked the wrong day though, because it ended up being long pose night instead of gesture night, and I gotta say, not to have anything against long pose, but like gesture night is so much better than long pose. Which long pose is like the model holding the same pose for the entire session, so that can be like up to 3 hours long, just the same pose. And that's great if you're like trying to practice painting or something. But I was not there to paint. I really just wanted to do figure drawings to like fill up more pages of my sketchbook. Because if I do a figure drawing session that is gesture night, I might get like 3 or 4 spreads out of it, you know? But for this one, since it was just the same pose the whole time, I just did 1 spread and just kept drawing her again and again and again. And I was like, great. Well, I mean, it was good. I think the drawings are good, but like, man, I wish it was gesture night. Okay, so here we go. So more designs. Here's how that book dragon turned out, by the way. That's the finished sticker of that. And then this is the yarn dragon that I mentioned before. And more stuff. This guy is actually my thank you card design, my current thank you card design, which looks like that for my online store. Honestly, I think this might be the last time I'm doing this thank you card, and then when they run out, I'm going to do a new design because I'm getting kind of bored of it. So if you want one of these, order now. But yeah, I do kind of want to get rid of them and then try a different design. And then over here, we have another dragon sketch, because again, I can't stop drawing dragons for some reason. I don't know. But I ended up drawing this guy, actually a design for a sticker collection book. So the idea is that this little dragon is sitting on top of a composition notebook that's like covered in stickers, and it says, "Hands off my hoard," like your sticker hoard, but like a dragon hoard. Do you get it? And then at the bottom here, we have my little design for the postcard drawing of the stuff that I was doing for the freebie pack for the Stray Kids concert. So this was the postcard, and I wanted to do something that was like really related to Florida because it was the Florida stop, and I live here. So I wanted to do something that was like very identifiably Florida, so I ended up having them all just hanging out with this alligator, and I do think it ended up really, really cute. So I liked how that turned out. I don't know how clear it is in this sketch. It's pretty messy, but and then okay, so here's more ATEEZ designs. I ended up turning these into both stickers and acrylic keychains, but normally when I do these sketches though, you'll see them a little bit more cleaned up because I end up doing 2 colors at the time. So like for something like this, I did like orange and then brown on top of it to finalize the lines and make it a little bit more clear. Okay, so now we have the next members. So here's Sungmin and Han for the freebie project, and I think the one I struggled with the most was Han, because I don't know why I decided to do this, but it's like an angle where he's laying down, and it's just like a really different like camera angle, and it was really hard to draw, and I don't think it looks like him at all, basically. It was a time. Anyways, let's continue to Chan over here. So here's Chan's piece, and then some sticker casualties. Unfortunately, my printer decided to give out halfway through printing this sticker sheet, so we have a few unfortunate victims here. But these are how the ATEEZ stickers turned out, by the way. So here's the Dong Bear and Wooyoung's one. What is it? Wooyoung, I think. And then we have some other designs here. I was reading the Murderbot Diaries series, and I think I've only read 2 books so far, though. I ended up reading those, and I thought it was really fun, so I wanted to draw like some robot guys, and they were kind of interacting with nature a little bit. Alright, so next is Changbin for the freebie project, so here is that drawing for that, and then I also drew him a few more times, of course, from the Top Line music video. And also, by the way, I don't know if anybody's noticed, I doubt it, but I was hiding each of the Skazoos, each of their like mascot characters in these pieces. So if you go back, you can see like, okay, there's Puppy M, there's Hankoka on the like guitar strap, and then for Lino's I made it just a button, and then Hyunjin's was on the necklace. But for Changbin and Chan especially, since these ones, I mean, like for Chan's, it was a more serious kind of portrait. I was like, where am I supposed to put an adorable little like wolf character in this drawing? And so I ended up putting it on his tie as like a sort of repeating pattern on the tie. And then for Changbin's, in this one I feel like the worst inclusion of the Skazoos, I think, because I ended up making it like a little bubble in the like bags in the back. and I feel like that was the least recognizable one. It kind of, you can't really see it at all. It's hard. It was so hard to hide these kazoos. It was like such a challenge. Anyways, next up we have Felix. Felix is one, and if you're wondering where his character is, it's actually on the button, which you can't see from the sketch, but in the final one you might be able to see. And then over here we have the Extraordinary Monsters characters, so Extraordinary Heroes, the band, finally released their mascot characters, so I started drawing those over there, so here's half of them. And then we also have my Rolling Quartz admissions bracelet, because I also saw Rolling Quartz in concert this year. And then last one, Ian. And for Ian's, I ended up putting the kazoo in the little light bulb, so very cute. I think his was one of my favorites, how it like finished turning out, because the lighting that I did for that from the light bulb, it was really fun to do. But yeah, after we finish the Stray Kids freebie series, it is time to start the ATEEZ one, because guess what? ATEEZ went on tour like immediately after Stray Kids. And if you lived in Florida and you were a K-pop fan, it was a crazy summer for us because Stray Kids was in June, ATEEZ in July. At this point, I was like, they did give me much less time to do a freebie project than Stray Kids did, because again, they gave me like over 6 months. They gave me maybe 3 months to prepare for this, maybe, I don't know. So I was like, okay, I need to come up with a new plan to kind of manage my time to be able to get this done in time for the concert. So I still wanted to do a little freebie pack that included like a postcard, a sticker, and a photo card. So for the photo card portraits, what we ended up doing was I gave myself some rules, and the rules were no backgrounds, no props, and no hands, because that was taking me forever to do with the Stray Kids ones. So I'm like, okay, we're just doing portrait, nothing else. So much more basic drawings, and I also forced myself to draw each like 2 members on 1 page to give myself less room to like add things, because I knew I was going to be tempted to do so. That's how I ended up doing the ATEEZ one and getting it done on time. So we start off with San and Mingi over here, and then we continue with Yosang and Yuno, which unfortunately I think Yuno was the one that turned out the worst. I don't think it looked like him at all. The final piece. I think, isn't that like a joke in the fandom? Is that like Yuno's particularly really difficult to draw? I don't know. Didn't he say that in an interview? But regardless, if that has been stated, it is true. We have the Extraordinary Monsters, the other 3 characters on that side, and then I did turn these into stickers as well. And then, okay, so over here we have Songhwa and Wooyoung. And then over here, we have the very messy sketch for the postcard for ATEEZ. And can I just say, I thought I was a genius for the concept for the postcard, and I need anybody else who like lives in Central Florida to understand what I was referencing here, because I drew them on the swan boats in Lake Eola, because their concept is like pirates. If you don't know anything about ATEEZ, their concept is pirates. They're like pirates. So I drew them on the swan boat on Lake Eola. I need you to understand my like brain blast coming up with this idea, because nobody appreciates it. And then the last ones, we have Hongjung and Jungho. And then over here, some K-pop Demon Hunter sketches, a little bit of that. I did make K-pop Demon Hunter photo cards of the characters, by the way. I think that's the next page. Yeah. So I'll just show that. Here's the photo cards, and Changbin. I forgot I put Changbin's picture in it. But anyways, so I drew all of the characters from Huntrix and Saja Boys. I was like the other guys. And then I printed them as photo cards, the same printer that I used for the Stray Kids and ATEEZ ones. And then, okay, so now okay. There's a lot going on over here. So this is the beginning of the marker section, and we'll talk a lot about the marker section, but first, so these are some freebies that I actually received at the Stray Kids concert from other fans. So I got some like little photo cards of them. I got this like 3-cut photo of Changbin and some other random stickers and stuff. Very fun. Honestly, K-pop concerts, if you've never been to one, so much fun. I love getting free stuff from people. And I love giving away free stuff. It was a good time. Did we almost die of heat stroke? Perhaps. We lived, and we got some really cute stickers out of it, so clearly it was worth it. But yeah, my first K-pop concert was an amazing experience. I love them. They did such a good job. It was amazing. But anyways, let's talk about the marker side of the sketchbook. The idea was that whenever I felt like drawing in markers, I just jump to the end of the sketchbook and then draw on it, but the thing was, I never felt like drawing in markers in the sketchbook, ever. I had bought a set of Ohuhus for the first time, one of their marker sets to kind of get a fresh start with alcohol markers, because I had like some really old ones that were like drying up, and I was like, you know what, let's just buy a fresh new box and jump into it, and maybe I'll like it. Honestly, okay, so here's some Pokemon, but honestly, I feel like I just didn't really know how to use markers in a way that was enjoyable to me. It took me a while to get the hang of it. So originally I was starting off with some like portrait practice, and first of all, I don't like this one. But I feel like progressively I got more solid with it, where I was kind of loosening up and going with the flow. I don't really like think that hard about drawing when I'm drawing like this. I just start grabbing random colors and like hoping that it works. So I started getting more loose with it and just doing what I wanted to, like I felt like doing, kind of instinct wise. But I still was not really having that good of a time with the markers. Like, I like how this portrait came out a lot, but I was still like, I still didn't feel like using them. I feel like I was forcing myself to use them. After those portrait studies, I drew a little bit more Pokemon, because I was like, well, Pokemon's fun. Sure, it is. And then I drew in like an original piece that wasn't like based on a portrait study or anything. And I do like how this turned out. I think it looks good, but I still, like, I don't know what it was. Like, the process of drawing this was still not working with my brain at all. And I feel like what was trapping me with the markers was just the feeling like I had to make a finished rendered piece. Like, I had to make it finalized because of the nature of like rendering with markers. And I wasn't really feeling it, like it working in a sketchbook setting where I wanted to be looser and like sketching with it, but I feel like I had to make finished pieces with it, and I think that's where the conflict was going on in my brain. Yeah, on this page, we have some random stuff going on. Okay, stamps. I made my own rubber stamps. They're kind of dirty right now, but I use these to brand my packaging, and I made these with a laser cutter with like laser safe rubber, and then I 3D printed a handle for stamping. And then this is what the actual stamp looks like. So I made like my text logo and then my little icon logo as well. So is that not cool, guys? Is that neat? I don't know. We have more attempts of using the markers. I don't know if you guys are like keeping an eye on the dates, but you can see I maybe use my markers like once a month, and then I stopped, and then I would come back to it, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like doing this, and then I'd stop for another month or two and then come back. So I ended up drawing this as well, and similarly to the last one, I like how it turned out. I think it looks good, but the process was just like not clicking with my brain, and I just didn't enjoy the feeling of drawing this while I was working with it. So then we're continuing, and as always, when I start to get frustrated about drawing and art, I end up just doing figure drawings again, because again, that's my comfort zone. So I ended up doing this sort of process of using 2 tones of the markers and then kind of building them to make the figure, and I do like how that page turned out, and this was fun. Again, getting more loose with it, actually having fun sketching. But then we're back to doing finished looking pieces, and I'm like, no. So yeah, I was like, well, what if I introduce ink, like pens, to do the line work, and then maybe it'll feel different than just using colored pencils. Well, I still didn't like it, so boo-hoo to that. And then more inking. I think at this point I was just like in the mood to do inking though. But yeah, so I just did like a solid color for the shape, and then like some shading, and then going in with the ink and finishing it. So I guess I did have a little bit of fun doing this, but regardless, another attempt at a portrait. I didn't have a good time. Back to the figure drawing, because at least I know that turned out well and that was fun to do, so we did another page of that. But yeah, so more figure drawing. Because at this point, I'm getting desperate. I'm like, will I ever finish the sketchbook and draw something that I enjoy in the marker section? Who knows? But then, we had a bit of a breakthrough. Yay! Because now, I actually had fun doing these sketches. So I just like did my normal messy sketches then from colored pencil, and then just added like a little bit of color to it. Sometimes like just flat color, and that was it. So, hooray for that. Also, comic book characters, we're back. drawing some comic book stuff. Look at that. We got Booster Gold over there. And then I have a Starfire and then Ghost Rider over there. This is one of my photo card design. I actually have it right here. This is my photo card holder design. Han's in there right now. But yeah, don't ask why I have like stickers of those in here. I can't even begin to explain what I was attempting to do. What is going on here? Okay, so we have Jungho in a lemon car for Golden Hour Part 3, Lemon Drop, the song drop, and then we have Juyeon over here from Extraordinary Heroes, and I really enjoyed how this one worked as well. I was sort of, again, being very loose with my color choices and just laying down colors and really utilizing the fact that markers are like a transparent medium, so you're supposed to layer them in kind of fun ways. I enjoyed how that turned out, so I was like, okay, let me try to do another portrait. So we got Junhan over here. And then we also have some of my freebies that I received from the Extraordinary concert, because I don't think I even mentioned that before. Guys, Extraordinary Heroes also went on tour, and their tour stop that I went to, the DC tour stop, literally not even 2 weeks after the ATEEZ concert. So, again, my summer was crazy this year. So these are some freebies that I received, including probably my favorite freebie I have ever received. So yeah, thank you, Extraordinary fans, as well. And then I drew Ode, and then that was it. So I only drew 3 of the 6 members. Sorry to the other 3. But yeah, so I made washi tape for both Stray Kids and ATEEZ over there. And after that, we have, okay, so here's ATEEZ, my ATEEZ freebie stuff that I received. So this is actually my postcard that I made for my little freebie pack. And then on the bottom here, we have this little mini tour poster. There was like a ton of little flyers around the ATEEZ merch pop-up that happened a few days before the concert. And we went to get merch, and I saw that on the floor, and I was like, can I just take that? So I took one. And yeah, don't tell anybody. But then we also have a sticker of William Shakespeare. I don't know why, but this was just like in somebody's freebie pack. It was like a ton of AT stickers and then William Shakespeare. So thanks for that. And then we have a picture of Jungho, little marker portrait that I did. And honestly, I don't know if it's kind of ridiculous to get excited about this, but like I drew this based on a picture that I took myself from the concert, from being there. And it just felt so special to be able to draw this, just because I had been drawing all these like K-pop guys through this entire sketchbook this whole time, but like with pictures that other people took, just that like pictures that I found online. So it felt so special to be able to draw it from like a picture I took from my own 2 hands, because I was there in person, and I don't know. It's just so cool that I got to do that, so I'm very grateful that they came to Florida. But yeah. And then I saw the Superman movie, of course, and of course I loved it. It was funny too, because me and my friend, after we saw ATEEZ in concert, the next day we were like, well, what do we do now? So we just went and watched the Superman movie again, but I don't think we perceived any part of that movie, because we were just in like a dreamlike state after seeing them in concert. Regardless, then we have my Labubu. Guys, I have one singular Labubu. One. Actually, I can show you it. Here he is. Look at him. But I should say, I did not buy this Labubu. I did not buy it. I won it in a claw machine, and I did not expect to win. I was messing around. I went to like a claw machine arcade, and I won this stuffed goose first. And I was like, well, I want a goose. This is great. Night achieved. Like we're good. But then I still had points on my arcade card. So I was like, well, let's just do the Labubu one. Just why not? And then my first try, I won the Labubu. What? What's going on? I did not ask for the Labubu life. Fate gave it to me, I guess. Over here we got Karma, Stray Kids' other album that came out more recently. So I ended up drawing Hyunjin and Chan from some of the photo shoots. And can I just say, it was really annoying to draw this, because I was drawing this based on like really blurry pictures of like the album inclusions, because nobody had done like really nice scans of them yet. And then I finished this page, and then literally that day, like a few minutes later, I see on Twitter somebody uploaded like high-res scans of the pictures, and I was like, really? We're reaching the end as well. We only have a few pages left, so we're finally almost done with this video. I'm sorry this is so long. But we got some clown girls over here, more looser sketches, and then some gay girl clowns, because Why not? And then more stuff. I think, again, I was in the mood to do some inking. And then some more Superman sketches, because I was still thinking about the Superman movie, so I just drew Crypto and Superman, which this one was, again, not based on the actor, the movie guy. And then I was like, well, I've been drawing Superman a few times. I think I should just draw the actor at least once, because I felt bad. So here's my actual attempt. So there's my little Superman page. And then... Oh, okay, so this is it. This is the last page. Bye. Some animals. And then I drew myself. Bye. That's it. Very exciting. We made it to the end. Yippee, that's actually it. Look at that. Here's the little pocket in the back. I don't know why I keep, like, gluing pockets in the back of my sketchbooks. I never use them. I don't put any scrap pieces of paper in here. All I have is, like, this album inclusion from the Outside album for B2B. And then... like a Jongbear photo card that has water damage. So yeah, that's that. And then that's the end of the sketchbook. I guess the next step would be to make the next one. I'll start binding it, working on it. And if you guys want to see the actual binding process to make one of these, I'll record it for you. I'm not very quick at finishing sketchbooks, but we'll see how quick we finish the next one. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and putting up with my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, if you want to see any of my other art that I've done before, or anything that I talked about, I have an Instagram. Yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!